Ladies and gentlemen, joining me now is not only a Canadian treasure, a man that played in the NBA, could have probably played in the NFL too if he wanted to, for 18 years. Two-time NBA MVP, 8-time All-Star. Is that right?
Yeah.
Doesn't need an introduction, but I just gave him one. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Nash. Let's go. Hey, pretty good little pop there from the crowd standing outside.
That was nice, yeah. Thanks, guys.
DAZN is the new home for football in Canada. Everybody knows your extended relationship with football, soccer.
Football.
Are you an NFL fan at all? Do you get
I
involved?
am. You know, it's funny. I grew up like a 2-hour drive from Seattle, across the border in Canada, obviously, and I was a Seahawks fan. So.
Did you meet Marshawn Lynch?
Yeah, I did.
How was that?
It was awesome. He's just one of those athletes. You know, incredible football player, but also super charismatic.
Yeah.
You know, magnetic personality. So. You know, it's always fun to root for a guy who's a little irreverent. And, you know, he obviously on the field was, in his moments, unstoppable. But, you know, his personality, too, made it so much fun to cheer him on. Who
was somebody that, you know, 18 years in the NBA is literally nothing to sneeze at. That is a full-grown adult's lifespan, right? You can vote. Your NBA career could vote in America. I can buy lottery tickets, tobacco, can serve in the military. Can't drink alcohol just yet, but 18 years is a long time. Throughout your career, what was one constant for you think?
You mean as
like
far
how
as
do you stay on top?
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, I think work ethic, you know, whatever you want to put first, like you have to have the passion to make the sacrifices, to put the work in, you know, and so I always found a way to inspire myself, motivate myself, to make the sacrifices, to put the time in, and it became a way of life, you know.
Were you a chip on the shoulder guy?
Not really. I wasn't a chip on the shoulder guy, but I was an underdog. Even when I was in my prime, I felt like an underdog. I felt because I had one scholarship offer. You know, I came in the league as a backup and, you know, progressed, was a little bit of a late bloomer. So for me, it was in me that I was always an underdog. Like I always had a mountain to climb. So even when I was in my prime, I went to bed thinking about what was my routine tomorrow and getting up excited to like knock it down and get better. So that you know, however you want to articulate that, that's what made my career and that's what it was my lifestyle.
You didn't take it for granted. I think that's kind of the thing about an underdog is you're not expected to be there, so you don't take it for granted, and you earn every day, kind of.
That's a huge part of it, but it became a habit. Like I loved that way of life.
What was your routine? Because NBA seasons are long. You're traveling all over the place too. Well, there's not a lot of downtime.
You know, depending on summer season, but during the season, you know, I always made sure that I took care of my body. So I tried to make it. By the end of my career, it evolved. Midway through my career, it evolved to a place where it was pretty holistic. You know, when I came in the league, we didn't talk about recovery modules and stuff like that. It was like, you know, like throw some ice on it, do the stim machine.
Yeah, 10 years ago, it was stim and ice. Right. That's all it was.
You know, and so I came in the league in '96, 20 some odd years ago, and you know, but then I was always super curious because I was putting so much time into this. I wanted to know, was there something else? So I got to work with some incredible people, learned a lot. So everything, sleep, diet, you know, doing my activation, corrective exercises, all that stuff that kept me, you know, moving well and able to perform and recover, you know. And then you got your gym work and your pre-practice stuff. So you put it all together. It was pretty holistic.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, the word holistic, but I respect what you're saying. It sounds important.
The whole.
Yeah, like a circle.
Yeah, circle with all the elements in it.
You got to play in a lot of places. Bounce around a little bit. Phoenix, Dallas, LA.
Yeah.
You got to play in LA with a couple characters who just came up in the news, pop culture news. Kobe, Dwight. Shaq took a shot out of nowhere at Dwight, and Kobe had to respond. I wouldn't want you to talk about that, but the human that Kobe is this Mamba character, right? Who's incredibly hard on his teammates. In practice, he's this guy who will shit talk anybody. What was your relationship being teammates with Kobe Bryant? As being one of the greatest basketball players of all time, he as well. What was it like going into the Lakers organization?
It was actually a little strange because we were drafted in the same draft, a few spots from each other. We played against each other. We competed. We played each other in the playoffs 3 times. So to be teammates was bizarre in a sense, right? Because we'd always, there was a hard wall between us, in a sense, like on the court. So to be teammates was bizarre, but. Having said that, like I said, we kind of grew up together in this league and made careers and names for ourselves, and so there was a respect, that made it easy. It was just unfortunate, I broke my knee, tib-fib joint, my second game with the Lakers. The end of that season, he ruptured his Achilles.
Timing wasn't good.
He missed the next year. I played like 11 games the next year, and then maybe it was his final year, I retired in that training camp. Just couldn't do it anymore. I was 40 and couldn't recover. And so it was a great experience to play with him. But the reality is we didn't play much together. We probably played 50 games together or something, and 50 hobbled games for me. But more than, actually it's funny, more than playing together, it was just great to compete against him for the entirety of my career.
The thought, whenever your name is mentioned, is not only that you were a facilitator of the ball, which is obviously big for the point guard, but you had some wiggle. You had some wiggle. You were an explosive player when nobody would expect it. And probably because of the holistic training. But your love for soccer is something that is huge. And I just learned you played rugby growing up.
I did, yeah.
Do you think playing all those other sports helped you with basketball?
100%. I think all the sports helped. Basketball was the last sport I played. So I played basketball, started playing in the 8th grade, 13. Was really when I started playing. And at that time it was one of 4 or 5 sports I was playing. So I don't think I would have been an NBA player if I hadn't played soccer, but all the other sports as well. But I think it gave me
4 or 5 sports?
Yeah, I was playing
soccer,
every school
rugby.
sport. I didn't play rugby in the 8th grade, but in the 8th grade I played soccer and hockey. Like on the city select teams.
Does everybody in Canada just play hockey? Yeah, you have to.
It's pretty popular.
Pond hockey?
Youth soccer is really popular, just like it is in the States. Hockey's super popular. Basketball is it's probably changed now, but then it was more of a school sport. So I'd play the other school sports. So you add it up, you're playing basketball, soccer, hockey, track.
Everything.
Whatever, volleyball, whatever season it is, you're just out there with the boys playing. So I think that for me, I was... like you just said, I was explosive. I wasn't explosive. I was elusive. I you know what I mean?
Hey.
I could suck you in, and I was a con artist, so to speak. but I wasn't I was never gonna get on the line and outrun, jump, outmuscle somebody. And so I had to rely on everything I learned from all the sports, and that was kind of the faculty that allowed me to get there.
18 years being a professional athlete is something I could never fathom. It's so impressive. And now you're into it is because it's everything, not just on the court game day, right? It's everything else that you talked about that's insane, especially with the travel of the NBA. How does that affect? You have 5 kids now.
Yeah.
An entire starting 5.
Yeah.
Would they beat every other family of 7 in Canada if they had to?
A few of them I'm not so pleased with their form right now.
Yeah.
So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes.
How was the travel though of NBA? What is the lifestyle of an NBA player?
It's tough. Of course we fly private, and it looks like this incredible gift, and it is. But it's not always glamorous, like stumbling out of a bus at 3:30 in Cleveland, and you played, a time zone behind a few hours ago, and then you play that night. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's ugly behind the scenes, but. It's such an unbelievable experience to play professional basketball against the best players in the world, and that it was worth every. I miss it. I never play anymore, but I look back on it.
Never ever play anymore?
Never. Haven't played for 5 years.
Is that something you've done on purpose?
I just don't have the urge. I play soccer. I play tennis. Love trying and doing new things. So. I don't have the urge to play hoops, and actually, to be honest, my back, those movements and that surface, it needed a change. It doesn't feel great on doing that anymore.
If you and I were to show up at a street court, though, let's say in Venice, California, you still got it? You think you still got it?
I could probably hold my own. I probably still got it as maybe a stretch.
Well, there's homeless people playing basketball there. I would assume.
I think we can win a few games.
The NFL is now on DAZN, as is the Premier League and
Champions League.
Champions League.
I could go on.
DAZN is literally the home for everything here in Canada. Do you still live in Canada?
I don't. I live in Los Angeles.
Do you bounce back and forth at all?
I'm up here quite a bit. You know, my brother and sister live in Vancouver. My parents live half the year near us and half the year in British Columbia. And you know, this and that always brings me up. So I love Canada. Proud to be Canadian. Love to come up here with 5 kids. It doesn't happen too much, but I'm up here a few times a year for sure.
I love Canada.
Yeah, it's great.
I've only been here a few times. We came a couple weeks ago for the WWE. They were in town, and then we've come up here for this. The vibe up here is just incredible.
Awesome. It's awesome. I mean, Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, like the big cities, but obviously this is a big old country with not that many people relatively, so there's a lot of wide open spaces that are amazing. But the big cities here are great. Vancouver's Vancouver when the sun's out is the most beautiful city in North America. Toronto is like, you know, as far as like coming to a city and entertainment and fun and all that stuff, you get that big city vibe here, like
and
New York,
clean,
Chicago.
It's clean, quiet,
great
awesome.
vibe, like you said. And Montreal is an entity to itself that's really spectacular as well.
Were you pulling for the Raptors?
I'm a consultant for the Warriors, so I was pulling for the Warriors hard. But
I should have known it. See, that's another thing I should have known.
Research, small thing about being a podcast host, but it's not the end of the world. Season 2, we'll research. No big deal.
No, it's better though. Learning these things.
Yeah. Better content.
See what Steve wants to talk about. What does that mean? You're a consultant for the Warriors.
So
Steph Curry's jumper, good.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it going. Shoot a lot. Yeah. So and frankly, that's been a part of the role. Is like for the much of my time there, they've been a well-oiled machine. So I'm just like a resource. Like I worked a lot with Kevin Durant on the court.
That on the court or off the court? Both.
On the court. You know, we had a routine going in the summers and during the season when I was up there. I'm only up there a couple days a month, but I'm there if they want to discuss anything. You know, this year I'll be more involved maybe in the player development model as the team's changing. You know, and so Steve Kerr basically gave me an awesome opportunity. He said, I want you to be involved. I want you to be a part of it. I want you to have total freedom because you're just coming out of your career when it started, and we're still there. But I love it. I learned a lot from him and his staff, the organization, and hopefully I can give a little bit back from my experiences. But really, I've just been thrilled to be a part of that franchise.
I think anybody that gets a chance to work with you in the basketball world will be excited about it. Kevin Durant, arguably best basketball player on earth. And anytime you have success like the Golden State Warriors have, there's going to be drama that follows it, right? I mean, anytime you're good, that's just what's going to happen, right? Sure. I think you experienced that during your career. Sure. Golden State Warriors are battling that now. Kevin Durant makes a decision to go to Brooklyn, and everybody talks about, you know, he kind of got buried by it all. What was your experience with Kevin Durant as a human?
Well, Kevin's, you know, he's a thoughtful guy. He's a guy that wants to experience and learn and grow. You know, he's not some guy that just wants to go home for the summer and shut the doors. And he's a guy that travels the world, builds businesses, is an addicted hooper. So he's a multifaceted individual. And I think the same reason he left Oklahoma City for Golden State is the same reason he left Golden State for Brooklyn. And that's just, he's a curious guy who is constantly looking to challenge himself and experience new environments, and that's what we see. And he beats to his own drummer, and he has every right to do that. And backlash is something that obviously he's big enough to accept.
You like him?
I like him a lot. Great human being. Great human,
just as a human.
Yeah.
Good human.
Yes.
Great basketball player too.
Historically off the charts good at basketball, yeah.
See, I have a pretty wet jumper, so I never really got a shot, but I would argue, you know, he's probably in the top 3 jumpers of all time.
I actually don't think he is the greatest, one of the greatest shooters of all time. But when you put it in context of his size, his ability to move, he can really shoot. Don't get me wrong, but he can shoot off the dribble, off the catch. He can.
Who's the best basketball player of all time?
Michael Jordan, for me.
Is that because you're old?
Maybe.
Because that's what everybody says, right? Everybody says, like, well, you're just saying Michael Jordan because you had that opinion before LeBron got to play or before.
I'm definitely biased.
But you're Steve Nash.
But having said that, you know, Michael Jordan averaged, 36 points a game multiple years in an era where you could absolutely hammer people. The game was slower. We shot way less threes. So if you, adjusted his numbers in today's game, he'd be completely. He was always obviously unguardable, but he'd be unbelievable with his competitiveness, his fire. Everyone in the league was scared of him. Legit. Like, I played against him early in my career, and everyone was kind of like, there was reverence, right, that I've never seen for anyone else in the league.
Then or since.
And then I think just looking at the rules, the way the rules have changed, and where you can't touch people anymore, and it's made the game open and fast and fun, and I love it. But put Jordan in today's era, he was averaging 36 in an era where you could maul people.
I have a question. But LeBron in that era, though.
LeBron would be great in any era. He's unreal. Like, this is not a slight against LeBron.
How do you feel about him trying to trademark Taco Tuesday? That's kind of a bad
it takes some balls.
I did not.
It's been around a while. I like it, though. I mean, that's a power move by a power player. Look how many ways LeBron's influenced and changed the sport. Like, he's done a lot of things that has influenced a generation, and you got to tip your hat to a guy like that who's made power move after power move.
For some reason, I'm remembering you shooting a free throw on my television late night. You were with Dallas, and you had been working on your shot, I think, with Dirk. Is that something that happened in your career?
I mean, we worked out together.
You completely changed the way you shot, though, I think.
No, that's not true.
Well, the commentator lied to me.
Research, yeah.
No, that was real research. Research.
It was what was in the pipe that night?
That was something. Yeah, true.
You had a big dream about change the shot up.
What teammates of yours, though, did affect the way you played games? Is there anybody that changed the way you played?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I came into the league, and my rookie year I played with Kevin Johnson and Jason Kidd, and was a guy that was a first-round pick, but people are thinking, maybe he'll be a steady pro. And so I got a chance to play with those guys, compete against them in practice, watch them, the belief, the competitiveness they had, and then proving to them that I belong was huge, because they would then show so much confidence in me and tell me that the sky's the limit, that it was pivotal. So that was early on was two guys that I played with that had an impact on me. But you're also impacted, obviously, by your teammates, the way they play. So Dirk and I, Mike Finley, had a great relationship for 6 years, where we played a certain style under Nelly, and then I went to Dallas and played with an incredibly athletic team, Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion.
Hey, that shot's weird now.
Sean had a different shot, but you can have a different shot when you're faster and jump higher than anyone in the world. So you shoot however you want.
Steve, I would like to drop 40 points in a Celebrity All-Star game.
Okay.
To do that, I'm going to need to work on my game a bit. To become an elite scorer as a consultant to a team of elite scorers, Golden State Warriors, what's the first thing I should work on?
Well, I haven't seen you play, so
I got a jumper. Okay. Just know that I got a jumper.
If you can shoot, okay, that's a big start. I don't want to make any judgments, but like, how's the mobility? How's the movement?
I go 3-point line. We're playing zone defense.
Hash marks.
Yeah, now we're talking. Look at that little football reference.
Yeah, hash marks. Yeah. I mean, I think you're going to struggle if you're going hash mark to hash mark. If you can't get in for a bunny once in a while, it's hard to get 40, especially in an all-star game. You got to. I mean, let's count it out. If you're going hash mark to hash mark, you legit got to make like a lot of threes.
Yeah, 13 of them, 14 of them.
For the math. If you're not going to the line, you're not getting in there for a couple bunnies. What if teammates freeze you out a little bit? What if a guy covers you, face guards you?
Nobody can cover me, Steve. I'm elusive. I'm not explosive. I'm elusive. I've always talked about the 5-point play. Not enough. It's not done enough. Hit the three, get fouled, miss the free throw off the front of the rim, get your own board, put back easy. I'm going to stack up a couple 5-point plays, and then that's how we get going to the 40. Maybe use the toe Kerr and put that one into play.
Yeah, be good. I'd like to see your shot. I'm a little curious now. You just think you're going to nail a three, get fouled, miss the free throw, get the offensive rebound.
Yeah.
For a guy that doesn't even go inside the hash mark.
Well, you got to get dirty every once in a while.
Yeah, okay. We'll see.
Steve, you haven't even played in 5 years, all right? So I don't even want to hear it from you.
This is true. I legit haven't.
Your life in LA. Are you a businessman other than consulting? Do you have
a little
businesses?
bit. Yeah, a little bit. I have a content company. Control Media. I have a little ownership in the Vancouver Whitecaps in the MLS and Real Mallorca, who play in La Liga in Spain, Spanish soccer. Yeah. So a few things. I'm involved in a home court app. Have you ever heard of it? It's an incredible app that tracks your basketball workouts. So on the camera on your phone through the app, it can tell you, filming your workout, makes, misses, range, release time, hip depth, all these variables that are so much more important than just makes and misses.
Analytic game.
Analytically showing, one, how you perform, how you train, but trends where you need to improve. You can also have, like, in real time, it telling you if you're like, I want to quicken my release. It'll tell you how long your release was after you let every shot go.
Really?
So you can know to speed up. So it's an incredible piece of technology, an incredible app.
What's that called?
Home Court.
So that's how I score 40 in the Celebrity All-Star game. See,
now we're thinking.
I did the research. I knew you had that. I thought that was going to be the answer.
Consultant of the year, I think, here.
How did you get involved in that? Somebody brought it to you?
Yeah, they brought it to me, asked me what I thought of it, and I was blown away by the technology. But really what made it for me an incredible opportunity was the body mapping. They weren't quite sure, I don't think, what to do with it yet, but they were starting to map your movements by the camera could recognize your body and your movements. And for me, that's meaningful feedback when you can tell a player what his body's doing when he's shooting, because makes or misses is only one indicator, right?
Yeah.
But if you want to get better and better and better and play at a higher and higher level, you have to move well, you have to have your body in the right position, or else as the speed of the game, ramps up, your technique won't be good enough for a fall apart. So that was what really drew me in and excited me, and they've been taking it to new levels, quarterly almost, and it's fun to watch.
Quarterly, that sounds like an investor there.
Yeah.
Hey, things are going well this quarter. Q2 is a good one, Steve.
It's good. I downloaded the. Never mind.
What's your content company?
It's called Control Media.
What do you do?
We've done.
Are you hands-on in there? Or?
Yeah, we do a lot of digital. We do a lot of stuff with Bleacher Report. We directed a 30 for 30. We have had a few. We did a doc series for Grantland, ESPN.
That's awesome.
We did a 30 for 30 called Into the Wind. It was about Terry Fox, a Canadian hero, who lost his leg to cancer and ran across the country.
Steve.
Yeah, you can check it out. It's great. We're proud of the film, but it's really all about Terry Fox. He's as big a figure as we have in this country. It's like Terry Fox, Wayne Gretzky.
Steve, I'm going to tell you this. We got a guy named Gumpy. He's painting ships, got a good beard, incredible Canadian accent.
I like it. Bet you he knows Terry Fox.
He's from Victoria, where you're from.
My hometown.
You're his Jesus.
Yeah.
You are. Whenever we told him that we were talking to you, he was very excited. He was like, same hometown, that's my guy. You're the guy.
He came to see Marchand.
You came to see Marchand. He came to see you.
Fair enough.
Steve, I can't thank you enough for your time. You believe in aliens?
That's great. Not really, no. Wouldn't be surprised, but no, not.
Well, you can't just back off of your answer like that. No, I don't believe in them. Possible, though.
I mean, I can. That's my answer. I can do whatever I can. I can do absolutely can.
How about Bigfoot?
Meh.
I'm out on Bigfoot.
I'm out on Bigfoot. We have a legend in British Columbia, the Sasquatch. You ever heard of it?
Yeah, Bigfoot.
Is it the same guy?
Yeah. I think it's the same guy. Did Sasquatch exist or Big?
Wait, am I getting my Bigfoots mixed up?
They're all the same.
Okay.
What's the other one? There's a couple other names. There's
Yeti.
a Yeti.
Abominable Snowman.
Yeah, Abominable Snowman.
Well, that's Disney, isn't it?
No, it's real life.
Oh, okay. The Sasquatch for sure is real.
Favorite shows?
Oh, good one. What am I watching right now?
Are you a binge guy?
I will. It's good. Right now we're watching, my wife and I, we just finished Euphoria. We're watching Succession. But I like a lot of the recent classics. Come on, name a few.
Recent classics?
Like
Sandy by Adam Sandler?
No, I mean Breaking Bad.
Oh, okay, yes.
Like Mad Men.
Got it.
The Wire. What's that?
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul is fantastic. Yes, love it. Fantastic.
I've never seen any of those, but
Miss it out.
You seen Mindhunter? I guess Mindhunter's this new one. I've never
watched
seen
season
it.
one.
I guess it's the thing.
I like season one. David Fincher. Just threw a little director, producer name at you there.
Well,
I'm in
you're-
the industry.
Have you won any awards for any of your content? Like, have you gone up there and given a speech?
No, but actually, it's we're in Toronto, and TIFF is one of the top 2-3 film festivals in the world. Our 30 for 30 premiered at TIFF about 8 years ago. Which
Not
is
easy
cool.
to get in.
Cool experience.
Yeah, it is very. Did you have to give a speech and all that?
Paid a lot of money.
To get it in.
No, I'm just kidding. ESPN, they I don't know how they did it. They probably bribed someone.
DAZN, ESPN, they'll get you in where you need to get to.
DAZN will
And you're
definitely
Steve
get you.
Nash.
Look, I'm wearing the shirt.
Yeah, and I saw you greet Marshawn Lynch in front of 200,000 Skittles today downtown.
That's true. That was interesting.
How'd you feel about that?
It was. It was cool. It was funny seeing Marshawn and all these Skittles. But then when it was like, whoa, and then it was like, that's it.
What the hell are we gonna do now?
What now?
Yeah.
Better Marshawn than me.
Well, Steve, I knew a lot about you before this interview. I feel like I know exponentially more.
Glad to hear it.
And I'm gonna buy your jersey. Would you rather it be the Phoenix one, the Dallas one, or the LA one?
Probably got to go Phoenix.
Roots.
My best years, 10 years there.
That was back when the Suns, you guys were good.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
some
like
good
pretty
teams.
relevant football or basketball team.
Yeah,
We're legit.
we had some good teams. Yeah, we were knocking on the door, still knocking.
Phoenix, great basketball town.
It is. Yeah,
Need to get back to winning.
yeah. It'd be fun if they could get a winner back.
Big
fans
Three.
were awesome.
You ever think about playing in Big Three?
I could not entertain that. It's my body's not. The other thing for me, the Big Three, I love it. I hope all those guys are having fun and do well. It's 10 weekends in a row in the summer.
And they're traveling too.
Everywhere else, like 5 kids, zero chance.
What are the ages there?
I have a 10-week-old and a twin 14-year-old girls. So a little tiny baby and then 2 girls that entered high school this week. So it's a good
Well,
range.
congrats on all of that.
Thanks, yeah.
I don't know if you're going to get any 6th Men of the Year babies and have any more.
We don't want to expand the squad. The cap is it's a hard cap right now. I'm not paying the luxury tax, that's for sure.
DAZN is your home for all NFL football in Canada, all Premier League,
Champions League.
Champions League, a lot of great content. Hopefully we'll be able to sign Steve Nash's content company to make something.
Yes.
But going forward, I want this to be known. My favorite Canadian, Tim Horton. My second favorite Canadian, Steve Nash. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, 18 King Timmy, by the way.
That's pretty big.
He's been taking care of us everywhere we go. There's Tim Hortons literally every half a block.
Ubiquitous. I'm not even sure if that's the right word, but
You used holistic earlier. I didn't know what the hell that meant either.
it's all right.
Educated man, incredible basketball player, Canadian hero, international treasure.
This is a long outro.
Steve Nash.
Thanks.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Good luck.